I became Churchboy when I became a child of God. It's been a journey for me. I wasn't always a child of God that's trying to live right for the Lord, such as I am right now. And I grew up in a small town called McCall. And in the city of McCall, it's a lot going on down there.
Yeah.
It's a small town, not many opportunities,
Yeah.
not many jobs, and not too much for kids to do down there. So it's easy to get caught up in the streets and doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
If you ain't got somebody just constantly putting pressure on you to go do this and do that.
Yeah.
So I came up in the city of McCall, man, and I just went through some things in the streets. I turned away from living the good life, from being an A, B, and honor roll student to hanging out on the streets. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my journey began. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go through some things to get to the point to where I am right now.
Amen. So how many do you have any brothers, any sisters, or anything like that?
Yeah. I have a sister. My sister name is EdwinCovington. And I love her very, very, very much. And just in case you watching this, Abigail, I love you. And I got a brother too. I love my brother too, Brother Red. Yes.
Amen. So you had so let me ask you something a little bit about your childhood, man. You had a pretty normal childhood, man. Were there any struggles attached to your childhood that you had to overcome, man?
Nah, my childhood, I actually had a good childhood, man. My daddy wasn't there for most part of my childhood, but my mama, she was always there, and she was strong. As far as I can remember, she was strong, and she provided everything that me and my sister needed, man. She always took care of us and raised us up, made sure we had what we need. And as a child, man, I was a good kid. I was a kid that's always been in clubhouses and making stuff to do, making something out of nothing.
Man, I used to do that.
Yeah,
That's why I became an electrician, man. My mama said, hey, man, for real, my mama said when I was little, man, I used to break down cars. She used to buy me the little motor control cars and stuff. I'd break them apart, man, because I wanted to see how it worked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, man. So, yeah, man, that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. So you answered that. Growing up with a father, man, because I know a lot of times in our community, man, that's what we see, man. A lot of us brothers grow up without fathers, and I want somebody to understand that we need fathers, man.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times when we that didn't grow up without a father, when we get our kids, man, we try to do everything that we can.
We bring all that back.
We try to bring all that back because that's what we were missing. Let me ask you something, man. Growing up, do you think that affected your childhood any?
Man, that had a major impact because I can remember at times, like right now, even now, I don't blame my dad for not being there, but I just wish he could have been there because I remember at times going to school, man, and the teacher would like pass you a piece of paper like, have your dad to sign this. Some days she'd be like, have your parents to sign this.
Yeah.
But when it came to the part to have my dad to sign something, I'm thinking to myself, like, it is, man.
It's crazy.
And it has an impact on you because you go to, you like I played sports and stuff too, going to school and stuff. So I'm seeing my friends' dad. They had good dads. I'm like, yo, they dads is at the game cheering them on.
Man,
go, hit somebody.
Man, I know what you're talking about.
But I'm out there on the field with them, and you know what I'm saying? All I got is mama. But I'm looking for my dad, like, man, I wish I had what they had, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
So it has a major impact on a kid's life when their father is not there because then that's a door open for you to slip out and do things that you don't need to do necessarily, you know what I'm saying?
And see, that's what a lot of people don't understand about fathers, man. Look, man. Hey, mamas bring that nurturing.
Yeah.
Fathers nurture, but we nurture in a different way. See, fathers in the household bring law.
Yeah.
They establish law.
Right.
And so that's why a lot of us young brothers that didn't really have active dads in our lives, man, we tend to go against law. We tend to rebel because, hey, man, mama, and I like to say, mamas do a good job.
Yeah.
But listen, mama, one of the things that I need to dispel in our community is when the women say I was your mama and your daddy.
No,
you was my mama.
You can't be the dad.
You can't be the daddy though. You cannot be, you can be a good mother, a good single parent, but you cannot be the daddy. Don't stop telling your kids, I'm your mama and your daddy. You're not their mama and their daddy. You're their mother. And so that's where we go wrong at, because the father is supposed to establish law. See, mom used to say, man, wait until your daddy get home.
Yeah.
See, kids ain't here. Yeah. Kids ain't want to hear that, man.
Right.
They ain't want to hear wait until dad get home.
They know what's up.
They know what's happening. Yeah, because dad brought that firmness. So yeah, we needed dad in our life, man.
And yeah, go ahead. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Because that's why a lot of feminine going on right now with the kids, with the young male kids today.
Yes.
Because a lot of dads are not in their household. That's why a lot of kids are being more feminine, because they're being around women all the time. Like you said, you ain't got a man in the household to bring that law. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that man touch.
That's
because
right.
That man going to insert that fear in that child, correction in that child.
That's
Mama going to do the same thing, but God created man first for a reason.
For a reason, man.
The man's supposed to be there, to be that leader.
Yeah, he's supposed to.
And that's exactly why I went astray in my life.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not blaming that on my dad, but maybe if he would have been there, then that would have stopped some of the stuff that I was going through. You know what I'm saying? But even though I still might would have tried him too, though.
Yeah. But who knows? And this, you don't never know, because only thing they parents is in our life, they supposed to lead us in the way that we should go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It don't mean that we always go that way, but we should go. But when they get older, man, things that was instilled with them will be still there, man, and they'll find themselves turning back.
Yeah.
They'll find themselves coming back. You know what I'm saying?
That's the word.
That's the word, man.
Yeah.
So man, without a father, man, that's tough. So what age was you, man, when you started first getting involved in the streets, man?
Oh, man. When I first started getting involved in the streets, I was probably about 15 to 16 years old.
Man, that's huge.
Because I didn't even want nothing to do with the streets. My mind wasn't even built like that, because I was such a good kid.
Yeah.
God installed so much good in me as a kid, man. Ain't no way in the world I supposed to have went towards the street.
Yeah.
But like I say, life experiences.
Yep.
And not having, maybe a father in my life.
Yep.
But, I was about 15 to 16 years old, man, and I never forget it. I tell my cousin this story to this day. I remember bringing some of my classmates through the hood, through the Hillcrest apartments.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show them, because I had cousins out there in the streets already hustling, selling drugs.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to impress my classmates. They never seen this stuff. They see it on TV. I'm like, man, I know some real hustlers, man.
Yeah.
They were like, you don't know the hustlers ever. So I brought them through the hood. And I brought them through the hood. My cousin was out there post up on the block, doing what he do.
Yeah.
Getting his hustle on. And I never forget it. I asked my cousin for $1. And my cousin said, man, they ain't giving you nothing, man. You better get out here and make your own money. And when he did that, when he said that right there, it struck something in me, man. And it just stayed with me. And all I can remember was, like, after that moment, I became a hustler, man.
See what he did, man. What he did, he woke up that independence in you, but he did it was just going the wrong way. It struck independence in you, but it was the wrong way. And that's where we needed our fathers to teach us that work ethic, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'll take you down the wrong path, man.
Did you have, like, when you started going down that path, man, did you have any, you know what I'm saying, any positive people that would try to bring you back, man?
Yeah.
We need one thing that I realized we need in the hood, man, and people need in the hood, young boys need in the hood, but these days, man, I see the 40-year-old, man, he's still trying to be like he's 19.
Right.
He's still out there with it. He's still acting like he's still trying to do what they doing. He's still trying to go to the club, but we need older dudes in the hood that will kind of shoot. I call it game, but that's what we call it. That shoot game to the young brothers. Be like, hey man, you don't want this. Blah blah blah
man,
blah.
yeah.
Did you have anybody in your life like that, man?
Yeah, I was surrounded by those type of people actually. That's what kept me being good, even though I was being bad. Yeah, I had a few people around me that try to steer me back in the right track. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you young and you hot headed and you smelling yourself, you will hear them. But young people gonna go do it anyway, man.
Yeah.
And I know these people was trying to help me out because I used to be in the newspaper making the honor rolls. And now I'm in the streets and they were like, Edwin, this ain't you, man.
Yeah.
This ain't you. One of my cousins even told my mama when he found out I was sniffing cocaine.
Yeah.
He told my mama, like, Edwin out there sniffing cocaine.
Yeah.
My mama came to check me and put me out the house. You know what I'm saying? See, you're not gonna be doing that in my house.
Boy, that's mom.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That mama fan. You can watch any black movie or any man. Mama gonna say that you ain't doing it in my house.
Nah.
You ain't doing it. So man, yeah, man.
There was people though. There was people that spoke encouraging words into my life, man, and always try to push me back to being who I really was supposed to be. But like I say, as a kid gonna try you. Yeah. They gonna try some stuff.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna listen. Hard headed. We got to bump our head. We got to get scratched up. We got to fall down. We got to touch in the season hot.
That's it. And that's where God is so smart. God is so beyond wisdom. He said, raise them up in the way that he didn't say raise them up in the way they're gonna go. That's why God is so full of wisdom. He said, raise them up in the way they should go. Because he already knew that he's gonna have some heart. And that's just us. God raised us in the way that we should go, and sometimes we do stupid stuff. Yeah. I tell people, Christians sometimes they do stupid stuff, man. We do, man. We fall, we do stupid stuff, we go against, but the difference between, the difference with us is, we have the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit convicts, man. And I tell anybody, when you lose that conviction, you in trouble.
You in a state of mind, a reprobate state of mind.
That's right, man. So you got to keep that conviction going on, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, listen to this, man. What age was it when you first started catching charges and getting involved with the police, man?
It was around probably about the same. I started selling drugs about 15, 16. Right after that, that's when the charges came. I went from assault and batteries, high bag of natures, to lynching charges, to distribution of crack cocaine.
What?
All types.
What'd you say? Lynching?
Yeah, lynching.
What is that?
Lynching is when a group of guys jump on another person and beat them half to death.
Oh, they call that lynching.
Lynching.
Oh man,
that's lynching. When you gang somebody.
Yeah, when you gang
and you beat them brutally bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lynching.
Oh man, I ain't never. That was my first time ever. I mean, we used to just call it.
Man, I got some.
We just got getting the beat down, bro.
I got some records. I got a record, man. So long, man.
Man, so around my man, when I started getting in trouble, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I jumped off the porch when I was about like 14, man. I was already renting cars, man, from renting. We used to call them Beamer shorts. I used to rent cars, man, at 14, barely seeing nothing over the thing, get somebody some drugs and rent the car and drive, man. And then I started getting charges like that, man. I remember, man, my mom, man, on Thanksgiving, man, I went to get me some weed, man, off of the Merc. And man, I messed around and got in a high-speed chase all the way up the Merc. Man, I had 7 police behind me, man.
Oh yeah, been there, done that.
Man, them days, man, and so the reason why I'm saying this because, man, a lot of people still glorifying that, man. But I want to ask you some more questions. We gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Hey, when was the first time you experienced prison, man? And how was that experience, man?
Oh man.
This the side that they don't tell you about, man. Because a lot of people I run across, man, you know what I'm saying, they go to prison, they be like, yeah, I just did that big, you know what I'm saying, they be bragging about it, yeah, when I was in the prison, but there ain't nothing to brag about that, man.
Nah, it's nothing to brag about, man. I had several experiences in prison. from a childhood to a grown-up. The
Yeah.
first time I got sent off, I got caught with crack cocaine at Marlboro County High School. That was in the newspaper. I was the first kid in Marlboro County to ever get caught. Probably the only kid to ever get caught with crack cocaine at Marlboro County High. They kicked me out of school. They sent me down the road that same day. So that was when I was a teenager.
Are you serious?
That was a teenager.
That same day they sent you down.
That same day I went to what you call the place down there in Columbia where they send the juveniles at? R&E, something like that. R&E. I went from R&E to the Midlands down there.
Wow.
And I stayed down there for like 30 to 45 days for that as a teenager.
Wow.
But as I got older, man, I went to prison around about, I say I was like 20. I was like 20 something when I went and did my first bid.
So how was that, man? Man, in prison.
How was it?
That's what I'm trying to say, man. Because a lot of you know what I'm saying. The movies and all the rappers,
man,
they be trying to glorify that, but it ain't nothing to glorify.
It ain't nothing to glorify, man. Yeah. Especially because when you go down the road, man, all your friends and all them people that say they down for you and they love you, you ain't gonna see none of them people. Them people ain't gonna send you no letter. They ain't gonna fly you no kite. They ain't gonna put no money on your books. Once you down there behind them walls, you down there behind them walls, and you doing that time by yourself.
Yes.
The girlfriend that you say you had, you gonna see how loyal she really is.
Yes.
You might run across a few that'll do a bid with you, but I'm a witness. I went through them systems, and them people that I thought was down for me, they fell off, and I end up doing that time by myself. But my experience behind the wall, man, is cold. Because when you first get down the road, man, in Columbia, all I can hear was people, inmates banging on the wall. Fresh meat, they banging on the wall. Fresh meat, I'm like, man, what is this? That's all you can hear across the whole yard. Fresh meat. And then when you walking through the cells to go to your cell, you got inmates reaching out of their cell trying to take your stuff.
For real?
Man, you gotta protect yourself. If you ain't a man when you walk through them doors, you gonna get treated like a female.
Yeah, man.
Straight up. You gotta protect yourself. I had to protect myself many a times. I had to fight. At times I didn't want to fight.
Yeah.
But you gotta do what you gotta do to make it back home.
And that's why I was trying to say, tell people that, you know what I'm saying. I was saying in one instant, I was saying, listen, man, just because you got a gun and you shoot somebody, that don't make you hard. And then when you get behind prison, man, you ain't got no guns behind prison.
There's no guns when you get down the road. You think you hard on the street, you might think you tough with a gun out here on these streets. But when you get down the road, you're going to meet some real killers. You're going to meet some real thugs.
That's what I'm trying to tell them, man.
And them boys down there, they going to try you.
They going to try you.
I don't care who you is. You can be cool. You can be hard. Whatever. You going to get tried.
Yeah. Because they trying to see if you really about it.
They going to see
if you ain't really about that. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Y'all. That's why I was trying to tell these young boys, hey man, stop being out here fronting, man.
Right.
For real, man, stop fronting. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't. That's one thing I never been. I never been a fronter, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop fronting.
Right.
If you ain't that hard, you ain't about that life. Stop trying to act like you about that life.
Right.
Because when you I done saw the tough. I be watching this little show, man. Sometimes I watch on YouTube. I be seeing these brothers. They were hard on the street. Man, they were the hardest brothers you ever saw on the streets. Man, when they stand before that judge, and that judge say 100 years.
Break down crime.
Oh, ain't no hey. And them other boys in there watching, man, you crying. Ain't no need to cry now, buddy. Ain't no need to cry. Like Churchboy said, man, you walking through there and you hearing fresh meat.
Fresh meat.
And see, I never been a front of man. I never I did things. I did dirt, man, and I did a lot of dirt. But I never made it to prison. I made it to the county, but I never made it to the prison. And you know what? I said I'm glad, man, because around about that high speed chase was the last thing I got into, man.
Yeah, man, it's rough.
Because I'm telling you, man, what scared me, man. I had just got caught with a lot of crack, man, and a lot of money on Shaw Road. And then after I was fighting that case, and just 2 weeks after that, man, I got in that high speed chase, man, and the magistrate man looked at me and say, son, didn't you just come down here with a dope charge? I said, yes, sir. He said, this is exact words. Lock him up, throw away the key. That's what his words to me. But God knew. So God, it was a man that lived beside my grandmother, man. I knew this man for all my childhood life. Never knew that man was a magistrate. Wow. That man is the one that released me back into my mama's hand, man. Glory, and man, from that time, I think I was like, I was a teenager then, and then I got some more trouble. But anyway, I started changing my life. I was like, man, because at that time I was a young father, so yeah. I said, man, I can't allow my children to see me here. Right. So I started changing my life, man. Right. But yeah, I never made the prison, so that's why I need to bring people on here that made it that far to let these kids know, man, it ain't no joke.
Man, I was in there, and the type of stuff that you see when you in there, you can be just minding your business, just walking by another cell. Yeah. And you mess around and look over your shoulder and see something you're not supposed to see. You see somebody getting choked out, somebody getting stabbed up, somebody getting raped. You'll see anything going on down there, man. That's what I'm saying. And you really can't run your mouth because you see the type of dude I am is the type of dude I was in prison, the type of dude I am now, man. I was like cool. You know what I'm saying? I mind my own business. Yeah. I'm in my own zone, I don't mess with nobody. Yeah. But if you come and try me, hey, I got to make it back home because we're gonna have to do it. That's right. And you gotta protect yourself when you down there. Cause if you don't, you just might not make it back home. And see, a lot of people don't share that, man. You gotta be somewhat a gladiator in there, man. Yeah. Or you gotta be a man. You gotta be a man up. Or you're gonna be plaiting hair. Right. Or you're gonna be washing people, right. You're gonna be washing people undergarments. Right. Man. You get what I'm saying? So in prison, when was the first time you gave your life to the Lord, man? When did you feel that pulling and that tugging? Oh man, that was a beautiful moment, man. That actually happened in the county jail. I had been to prison twice. And I got back out, still in the streets, still on drugs, still trying to sell drugs. And I remember getting high and drunk one night at my mama's house. I tell this testimony a lot. I was getting drunk. I stayed up all night, drinking liquor, drinking beer, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, had drugs in my pocket. And I was up high all night. And then the next morning, I walked down the street. I think it was the night. I can't remember. It was the night or the morning. I walked down the street and I heard this church. The church doors was open, and this lady, this church, they was playing some church music. It's bringing emotion just thinking about it. It's bringing emotions up. But they was playing church music at this church, and I just felt God pull me towards that way. And when I went in that church, man. I went in that church, and I didn't have in my heart to hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it still hurts me to this day when I think about it. That's why I'm kind of talking like this. Yeah. So I went in the church, and I remember putting my arm around the pastor, just talking to her. But I was high on drugs. You know what I'm saying? And somebody inside of the church called the police on me. They should have been praying, but they called the police. They called the police on me, man. They called the police on me, and when the police got there, they looked at me and they said, Edwin, now you know you don't supposed to be in this church like that. And I was like, what you mean? I mean, they ain't doing it. They ain't bothering nobody. They ain't hurting nobody. So when they came and said, Edwin, you got to come outside. So I began to walk to the door. When I started to walk to the door, I thought about I had dope in my pocket. I knew as soon as I got to that doorstep what they was gonna do. They was gonna search me, right? Yeah, they gonna search you. So when I got to the doorstep, my first feet hit the doorstep. You know what I did? Took off running. That's what I would have did. I took off running, man, and the first thing in my mind was like, you got to get this dope off you. I got dope in my pocket. I got to get this dope off because I don't want another charge. Yeah. But anyway, I ran down and got the drugs off me without them seeing it, and then I ran off from the drugs. And then I just fell on the ground, and they fell on top of me, and they arrested me. I put up a little fight with them and everything. Got to the county jail. I still struggled with them when they had me in my cell. But to try to make a long story short, man, that time right there when I went to the county jail and I woke up the next day, I woke up with all those charges over my head. I had a threaten to kill a police officer charge and some other stuff, man.
Probably fleeing to resist arrest.
That too. Yeah. But that charge, the threaten to kill a police officer, man, that was weighing on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because I was facing a whole lot of time.
Yeah,
and that police officer, he wanted to get me because I threatened to kill him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He was out to get me.
Yeah.
It was only the grace of God that could move that charge out. That could move that charge out the way. So as I began to sit in the county jail that time right there, man, I began to pick up my Bible, read my Bible, and I could just feel God tugging on me. Like you said, he was pulling on me. But at the same time, the devil was pulling on me. Yeah. It was like a spiritual warfare. You know what I'm saying? So you got God pulling on me, you got the devil pulling on me. It's like a tug of war, they going back and forth, pulling on me. And you know I'm doing my music thing, so I'm writing street raps, then God will give me a gospel song. So it's a battle. I'm writing a gospel song, and I'm writing a street song. Like, man, I don't know which way I want to do, what I want to do. But God kept showing me, like, Edwin, he's like, you can go with me when you get out of here, and your whole life will change. It'll be like you want it to be. Or you can get out of here, and you're going to die in your sins. And I saw it. One morning, I went to church in jail, in the county jail. And it was this lady preacher. She was preaching, man. And she was giving the word of God. And then at the end of her sermon, she made the altar call. She was like, will there be one person in here that want to give their life to God? Anybody? And I remember just being tired. I knew it was my time. Yeah, man. Me and another guy. I stood up with tears in my eyes, and I began to cry. You know, when I got up, and I walked up there where she was, and I gave my life to God. I gave my life to God in the county jail. And when I gave my life to God in the county jail, when I tell you the charges that I had, the threaten to kill a police officer, that charges just dropped, went away. Some other stuff dropped, went away. They started moving me around in the county jail, the more freedom and everything. I was like, man, God is doing it. The more I was reading, the more I started leaning towards God, doors began to open up. They started to move me around. When the Holy Spirit moved, man, in your life, hey, God began to move you around. And then all of a sudden, I remember getting out of that place. When I got out of the county jail, my sister was telling me about this church, St. Michael Hope Ministry. She said, when I go to school with this pastor, man, I think he's a good guy. You need to go check him out. I mean, go to his church. So when I got out of jail, I joined his church, man, and I kept going. I ain't looked back. And here I am today. Churchboy EdwinCovington.
Churchboy, hey man. and one thing about it, man, being a Christian, man, we still have, when you first give your life to the Lord, you still had to shed some things. You still had to go through some things, man, right? To get rid of that old man.
That was a tough process for me. Because when I'm telling y'all the story about what happened at the church, I was hurt because of the fact that, man, I thought, like you said, they should have been praying for me. I'm going to a church thinking like, hey, if I can't go to a church, where can I go?
Where can you go?
So it was to this day, man, that was one of the most hurtful experiences of my life, man. Going to a church and they call the police on you.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. I know this. It was this young brother that used to work for me because I do electrical work. So sometimes when I need help on one of my jobs, I would go get this young brother to help me. So this young brother went in the church. Listen to what he did. I know this brother. And they had him all on the news in the newspaper like he was a killer or something. Yeah. This young brother got fed up and went to the church with the gun up and laid the gun at the altar. And guess what they did? They called the police.
They called the police on
and now, you know, I mean, the pastor, he getting recognition now here. Yeah. And this guy told me everything that happened. He was truthful about it. But by the time the newspaper got, the pastor done ran and tackled him and all that, he said, no, I just went and laid the gun down at the altar. And I walked in the church needing help.
Yeah, man.
Come on, people of God. I mean, I understand we got to protect ourselves in that way. But if somebody came and laid the gun at the altar and saying, I need help, you supposed to help him. Just get the gun
Yep.
Secure the gun.
That's right.
And pray for that brother.
Pray for that brother, yeah.
He needs help. Just like this, when Churchboy came in that church and put his arm, you put your arms around the pastor.
Talking around the pastor, talking to him, man, just
the
like
main
a normal
man.
person.
I mean, the main
She's a
man.
female though. She was a female pastor. She was a female pastor.
Yeah, it don't matter. I mean, if you wasn't a threat to him.
No,
so
wasn't.
they should have prayed for you, but
But you know what though? But in a way, I'm glad that it happened the way it happened.
That's how God had to lead it.
Because maybe God arrested me on that
right.
day. I needed that arresting.
You absolutely
because that arresting, that moment changed my whole life.
Changed your whole life. So maybe so we give big ups to God. For that.
Give God the glory.
We give God the glory for that because. Like you said, man, maybe that was God's plan to slow you down, to get you in a place where He can really deal with you. So, man, when did you figure out that you can MC, man? When did you start MCing?
Well, rapping never been in my thing to do. Actually, I tell this story all the time too. I got this cousin. His name is Shabu. And he's the rapper. Man, he's like out of my family.
Like one of them. Boy, I believe that sounds like one of them.
Hey, out of my family, he go the hardest in rapping because that's his thing.
Sound like it.
He freestyling. He a freestyler. He just come off the head with it. And I always admired him how he can just put the words together. He just come off the head and just bam, 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 bam. So I was like, man, I want to do that one day. Because I roll with them. You know what I'm saying? If you rolling with somebody, you want to be able to do what they do and get on their level so you can do it with them. I just wanted to rap so I can do it with them, be a part of that. So I began to teach myself how to rap. I actually started teaching myself how to rap in jail, in prison. That's where I began to write them songs at. So I just practice how to write the songs and stuff like that and ask questions, things I didn't know. Ask them like how to write bars and choruses and stuff like that. So I began to practice. Practice make perfect.
Yes.
And I began to write and I became better and better. I remember presenting one of my first songs down there and I brought it out and did it for them and everybody liked it. So I just kept going, man. Kept going.
So was it gangster or was it?
My first song was street. It wasn't gospel.
Hey, and I'm about to let you go, but man, listen, man. Because when I came, because I did the same thing you did, man. Because when I came in church, man, I rap, man. I came from. I mean, we used to stand on the block and do that, man. And I was the beatboxer.
Right.
So I was the producer all the way back then. Because I could do beats with my, you know what I'm saying? I could beatbox real good, man. And I used to make the beats, man. And we used to stand around on the corner and just rap. But when I came to church, back in my days, and I just want to ask you this: when I came to church, man, and try to rap for God, man, let me tell you something, man. It was a back when I was coming up, man, because you know what I'm saying, that was 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I gave my life to the Lord when I was 22.
Wow. And
now I'm 47.
Wow.
So you get what I'm saying? So when I came in, man, they did not want to hear that, man.
They didn't want to hear it when I came in.
It's still like that?
Hey, listen. They didn't want to hear it.
I'm talking about as today. Is it still like that?
You got some places that they don't put up with gospel rap. Yeah, I done went through those doors, man, where the pastors be old and they set in their ways.
Yeah.
And you get up there and be rapping, they looking at you like, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
trying to see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But the way my style of rapping, I makes it so clear. You know what I'm saying?
So they can understand.
I make it so clear. God used me so well the way that I do it, man. And it's a baby can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I done been to churches where the pastor was like, man, this is no lie, young man. I didn't want nothing to do with rap. Nothing to do with rap. But I like your rap.
Yeah.
I like your rap. And they support my rap.
That's good, man. That's good, man, because that was always a struggle because back then it was new.
Hey, I wanna let this be known now. In South Carolina, Churchboy, me and my cousin Chris, baby Chris, and Churchboy, we opened a lot of doors. We opened a lot of opportunities, man, for the upcoming artists. Now, so if you come up now rapping gospel rap, you better know that Churchboy, Baby Chris, and Petey, we went through them doors before y'all. We paving the way for the next generation that come after us, man. We did that.
Yeah.
Because you can't mention a gospel rapper name in South Carolina, probably North Carolina neither, without mentioning Churchboy.
Hey, let me tell you something. Churchboy in the building. I'm telling you that right now.